I'm looking up when I see them looking down on me. Staying committed when they all true.
Hi, it's George Schwertl, The Great Report. My co-host, Mark MK, and we are interviewing today Theresa Mari from Huntington. Theresa is running for town council. She is here today to discuss what she plans on doing in her campaign and what she plans on doing when she's a council person. Theresa, great to see you.
Great to see you. Thank you both for having me.
Of course. Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
So it's great that you're here. We wanted to ask you some questions. Mark, you want to go first?
Sure. So, give us a little bit about your upcoming humble beginnings.
So my humble beginnings. I grew up in Port Jeff Station, which is a beautiful place. I worked very hard. I have siblings and my mother and father, and I was very fortunate to live in a wonderful family. I went to Binghamton University, worked all through that to put myself through school, and I put myself through law school at Hofstra University, working the whole time. And I discovered Huntington 30 years ago. And
30 years? Wow, you've been there for 30 years.
30 years ago, and decided that that was a place I wanted to live.
You fell in love.
I fell in love. Built a house in Centerport, and I never plan on leaving.
I know you said earlier how much you love the beaches in Huntington.
Oh yeah, the beaches, the parks. We have some of the most beautiful beaches and parks in
Heckscher
Huntington.
Park is gorgeous.
Heckscher is great.
Heckscher Park and all the beaches, and I know the attractions of Huntington Village is beautiful, and I have to. This is everybody knows Vincent's Pizza. Okay, Vincent's Pizza. If you're from Huntington, you know Vincent's Pizza, and if you really know, honey, a little cold cheese on it,
Exactly.
Everybody in Huntington's had a slice of pizza at Little Vincent's.
We have the best restaurants in Huntington.
We all the restaurants
are
great.
Paramount, which is an amazing.
Paramount's beautiful.
Yeah, it's an amazing venue. So Huntington's just a great place to live, to work, and we want to keep it that way.
It's like a little city. It's my best kept secret. If you don't have to go to the city because you have Huntington. My family and I, we walk around Huntington. You get the ice cream. You get the yogurt shops.
Tea shops. There's something for everyone.
There's everything. It's everything. The tea shop is big now. Yeah, the tea is big. My girls are going there.
Yeah,
I know. The sushi, the tea, everything. So, again, we spoke earlier, and you mentioned counselors who care.
Yes.
And that is, it's an incredible organization. How did you get started with Counselors Who Care?
Well, I'm very active in the Bar Association, and I've always been involved with charitable causes. It's something that's very near and dear to my heart. Many years ago, I had a nephew who was born with spina bifida. I got involved with spina bifida, United Cerebral Palsy, and other projects. And when I was asked to participate with Counselors Who Care, it's an organization, a small group of attorneys who work through the Bar Association to raise money for children's needs, particularly children who are in the foster care system.
Sure.
We use the money that we raise to buy, clothes for kids. If a child is removed from their home late at night, generally they don't have anything with them. So we buy clothes so that they have clothes to wear. We've had kids in foster care who are doing well and want to take the SATs and want to go to college. So we help them with school prep, buying them computers. We help with supervised visitations. When they have supervised visitations with their parents, we provide gift cards and money so that the parents can take them out. Or there's a parent that is going to have their children returned only if they have them for an overnight. So we'll provide money so that the mom can take them to a hotel overnight. And
that's great. That's really great what you do.
And
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I said to Mark, I met Theresa about 5 years ago,
right.
And she was doing a fashion show, and I got involved, and I was able to escort all the attorneys out and around.
It was great.
And we all know I'm a crier, okay? And when she told me what they do, I was like, wow. I went home and told my wife, I said, we have to go to this, we have to get involved. And I know when we did the fashion show, what did you guys
We raised about $20,000, and we have a casino night every year. We raise a fair amount of money doing that as well.
That's great.
And even during the pandemic, when we really didn't we weren't able to really meet as much. We had raised some money at the casino night, and we then donated money to first responders. I had meals delivered to the hospitals. We gave gift cards to St. Hugh's and to some of the other food pantries so that they could give gift cards to people
That's
instead
great.
of food.
Right.
So we're
give
very
back.
active.
You give back to your
We
community.
give back to
Right.
the community.
And the
Right.
county, you do it everywhere with
Yeah,
the courthouse
exactly.
and everything. It's just,
You're
I'm proud of you. I'm
Thank
proud of
you.
you.
You're a
Thank
role
you.
model to these children.
Thank you.
With you being a woman entering the big stage now, how do you overcome adversities and like with these children that you're helping? They're facing a lot, and I'm sure you've had your bumps in the road as well.
Yes.
Did you how do you overcome your adversities, and did those troubling times inspire you to work with these children?
They did. I've had, everybody's had their fair share of
Right.
adversity. When I was younger, and I always loved working with children. It was always one of my passions. I unfortunately was not able to have children of my own. I went through 4 years of fertility treatments, unfortunately several miscarriages, a couple of failed adoptions, and then I wound up coming down with breast cancer. So that put my dreams of continuing to try to adopt at a halt. And going through having breast cancer and having to still work full time, go to work with drains hanging out of you, it really teaches you how to overcome. And I was so lucky to have such a supportive family. My mother would work at night till 8 in the morning and then take me to my chemo treatments, and then my father would take care of me for the rest of the day when I wasn't feeling well, and I'd get up and go to work. And I had told George a story that
I
my
get choked up. I
yeah.
get choked up.
When I was losing my hair, I
This is-
had a white sheet that my father would put on the couch, and I'd get up and go to the bathroom, and I'd come back and I'd realize he'd already taken that sheet. He would go outside and he would shake the hair off and put it back on so I wouldn't see it. So I stayed in the bathroom a little longer each time to help him out. And then,
Teresa.
thank you. And then, and I have to tell you, my colleagues in the courthouse couldn't have been more supportive in helping me when I needed help.
Wow.
So the people who work in the courthouse are great, and you learn to overcome it because there's not really a lot of other choices. And I try to use, certainly I don't tell children I have cancer, but I try to use some of the skills I've learned there to help the kids overcome the adversity they're facing when they're sitting with me and their mom was taken away from them and they're in foster care, or their parents are fighting over custody and they're trying to cope with, maybe I'm going to have to move, maybe I'm not going to be with my friends in my school, and I'm not going to see my parent every day. And those are things that, you play with kids, you color with them,
Sure.
you try to get them to not think about it for a few minutes and to understand that their parents are always going to be their heroes and that they're going to get through it.
Teresa,
So-
I gotta commend you, because even though you said you didn't get a chance to experience having your own child, but you have many children out there.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what
Yes,
you're doing.
yes.
You have many
Yeah.
children. You're
God,
raising them.
yeah,
you
God
know.
found a different path for me.
Right. Do you see a little bit of yourself in them as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I love. I see a little bit of myself in them, in that everybody goes through struggles. So they're going through struggles as well, and they just want to be kids. I mean,
Sure.
think about when you're a kid, you just want to be a kid, and sometimes, they find themselves not feeling like they're able to do that when they're in these situations. And like I said, I play with them. I buy them red noses on red noses. I give them things to take home, and I just try to give them hope that they have a voice, because I'm going to be that voice for them, and that everything will be okay. At some point,
Like my
everything will
mug
be okay.
says.
Yeah,
All you need,
love is all you need.
all you need is love.
That's
So
right.
true.
Amen to
That's
that.
so
That's
true.
right.
Wow.
So true.
That's unbelievable. And as far as Huntington, what do you think your next step is? As far as what do you plan on? You are working very hard. What do you think your thoughts are?
Well, I want to continue to work. I mean, Huntington is a beautiful, like I said, beautiful place to live and work. And I want to work with our existing administration and to support our community. I mean,
I know you'd mentioned earlier about how, which again, I thought was great that you said that earlier, that you want to try and get funding. I know there was about, you don't want to raise taxes and you want to get federal funding and state funding to help the town. You know,
Right.
I know that the town has got, with roads and infrastructure and again, being that you've gotten grants with other organizations, you are good at that. So
Yeah.
again, you say
yeah, and I
something.
want to support those initiatives. Our town, you know, we have a great town, but every town has needs, right?
course, of
and,
course.
And all of our community have certain concerns. You know, building is always a concern.
Sure, infrastructure,
And
right.
infrastructure, everything has to be viewed to me on a case-by-case basis. Everything has to, you have to look at each project on its own merits and try and do the right thing. And when, builders come in with projects, you want to look at those projects. I think it's important to give them answers as quickly as possible
I
as to
agree
whether
with
or
that.
not
I
a
agree with that.
project is doable, so
Sure,
they're not
sure.
spending a lot of money on something that isn't going to work in the community.
Right.
So you have to balance the needs of housing and the desires to expand the
Sure.
community.
I think you said
with-
something about smart development.
Right, smart development. It's gotta be done and a balanced approach. You know, people came out to Long Island to, bought these beautiful homes on these beautiful properties, and they want to keep it that way.
Yes.
Right.
They want to keep their suburban way of life. So there has to be a balance as to how we make these other projects work that are
Sure,
necessary. in
smart
the community.
development, I like it, I like
Right.
it.
And also, infrastructure. I mean, we talked about the fact that
The sewage plant you mentioned, the sewage treatment plant.
and we've gotten a grant for sewers to go to
That's
Huntington
big, that's
Station.
very big,
and
that's
it's
very-
huge. We
that's-
need
that's great.
sewers. We have to protect our aquifer.
I think that just happened,
Yeah,
happened,
it
that
did.
they just got that passed
Right.
within the last 6 months,
Yeah.
which, that's big,
And
that's
from
big.
what I hear, people are saying that the roads haven't been paved in
Right.
30
Oh,
years.
yeah.
What are your
People-
thoughts
Some
and
of the
ideas
people
about
are
it?
saying that the roads haven't been paved in 30 years, which is amazing to me, but.
And again, you
know,
said you're gonna get work for
Yeah.
getting grants.
Right. Andre Sorrentino and our highway department are working really hard, and they've gotten some grants, and I want to continue to help them get grants
That's
and
big.
funding.
That's big.
For paving and for equipment.
Drainage, sure.
Yeah, and drainage and all of the things, like I said, keeping our water safe, keeping our
Sure.
roads safe, keeping our community safe. I mean, the Bail Reform Act did not, did
Sure.
not go very far, and,
Right.
and we need to, public safety is another big issue.
Public safety is big.
that,
Public
you know,
safety is big.
Yeah, and I've gone to some of the community sessions with the second precinct, and they're really working hard to try and, make sure our community's safe.
Sure.
And the fact that they're having these outreaches and reaching out to the community is huge. And,
Yes,
and I want to
yes.
participate with them as well, because I think that's a big, it's wonderful that they're doing that.
Community outreach is
Yeah.
very big, very big. And I think that you said about the sewer line, that was the current
Yes.
supervisor,
Current supervisor Ed Smith.
right, he got that,
Yeah.
I think it was in the last 6 months. That's a very big project.
It's a very big project, and it's needed.
Right.
There's so many issues that I know that our administration is working on, and getting grants and helping with funding. So we, because of course we don't want to raise taxes.
Sure, right.
So it's a matter of getting, of
We don't want you to
helping
raise
support-
taxes
No,
either, by
I
the
know.
way.
Me either. I live there
All
too,
right.
right? To support those initiatives that keep, us being able to build smartly, to
Smartly.
be able to, support, to make sure we have clean water. I mean, we're so lucky in this country that we have clean water and we're able to get it to our communities. But some of the equipment is old, so all of those things, they're applying for grants. I know there was, I was told, I met yesterday with a group that's working on grants for water in
Sure,
Huntington.
sure.
And they told us how they were able to get, some grants, and they continue to apply for more and more to help fix that infrastructure so that we continue to get clean water.
The grants are big, as we said earlier, with the state and the federal government. If you don't ask for it, you're not gonna get it.
Exactly.
right.
And that's
And
an
there are
old
a lot of
saying
them
that
out
really.
there.
Yeah, closed
And-
mouths don't get fed.
That's
Exactly,
right.
exactly.
And there's more of them out there than we know about, and so there's a lot of grants available, and fortunately, we have some very smart people who are out there looking at what grants are available
Sure,
to
sure.
us and working hard to get them.
And you see other towns doing that, so your
Yeah.
town will do the same. The
Exactly.
grants are, I love that, I love that initiative. Get to
Absolutely.
get out there and get the money that
Get
the
the
town
money.
deserves.
Right, right.
That the town
It's
deserves.
there to get it.
You know, as I always say, show me the money, Jerry.
Now, is this your first time running for office?
It is my first time running for office, yes, it is. And it's a little daunting, but I've been surrounded by great support, and I'm very excited about it. You know, I'm gonna start walking the community so I can meet people, and I'm looking forward to getting to know people. I'm looking forward to talking to people about the issues that are important to them, and, you know, running my race and hopefully becoming, you know, the next town councilwoman in
What
the
made you
town.
decide to run? What made you decide to run?
Like I said earlier, I have been involved for so long in most of my career in doing philanthropic work and work with children, and it just seemed like the next logical step for me to work with my community. And I'm very excited about doing it. You
I
know,
like it, I
So
like it.
you
You're giving back, you're giving
I'm
back.
giving back.
You would
yeah.
consider yourself a voice for the community.
Absolutely. I do want to be a voice for the community. I want to be a voice for the community, and again, work hand in hand with our town board and our different town agencies so that we can work together to do what is smart, what is balanced, and what's going to work for Huntington.
Now, last night, we had a little fun. There was an event for District
Ray
Attorney
Ray
Ray
Tierney.
Tierney.
Tierney, sure,
Yes.
great guy.
You know, produced by George Schwertl.
Sure.
There was a lot of movers and shakers in the
There
building.
were.
How did you feel? Because this is your first time in that world. How did you feel? Rubbing shoulders with everyone.
It was great. It was a lot of fun. Everybody was very receptive. Everybody was very nice. When I lived in Port Jefferson, I was also involved a little bit in politics there, but I'm also very active in the legal community. So Ray Tierney being there last night, it was nice to see him, and it was nice to see some of the people he brought because they were movers and shakers, but a lot of them I knew.
Sure,
So
sure.
it was
Through the years,
because,
through the years.
because I also lecture at the Bar Association, and I've been involved in many projects and programs over the years. So I was very fortunate that I knew a lot of them, but even the ones I didn't, I'm not shy. I might be a little at times. Everybody gets a little shy, but I'm not shy to walk up to people, introduce
Sure.
myself, and I love to hear what other people have to say. Everybody has
An opinion,
everybody
or-
has
sure.
an opinion
Yeah.
on something.
Sure, sure.
Right.
And I think
And you'll find that out when you win.
yeah, and you listen to everybody, and you see what they have to say, and you hopefully take the best parts of it
Sure.
and go from there.
I'm curious. I'm sure our viewers are curious too. Now, you're helping children. You've overcome cancer.
Yes.
You're running for office. You have all these, rich, upbringings and stuff like that. Where do you find the strength to face all these things? Where does it come from?
A big part of the strength comes from my faith. I have a lot of faith. Comes from my family, my friends, very supportive friends. I have a wonderful boyfriend. It comes from the fact that I live a positive life, and I'm very fortunate that I surround myself with positive people, and they are my strength. When I'm nervous or worried, they lift me up, and I try to do the same for them. So the strength really it certainly comes from within, it comes from my faith, but it also comes from surrounding yourself with wonderful people. like
I love the
both you
positive.
and-
I love the positive. I'm so glad you asked that question. I love the positive. I mean, it's just that to me, it's yes, you'll bring that into it's in your life. You'll bring that into the town, which is great. That was a great answer. I love that.
I mean, even-
but it's a part of life.
It is a part. Even
You know,
when
it's-
I
it-
had cancer, I never thought I was going to die. I never felt that. I never sat and felt sorry for myself. I got up, I went to work, and I surrounded myself with other people who supported me and helped me. I mean, I had another friend who had cancer at the same time and unfortunately passed away, but he used to say to me every day, "Don't go to the dark place. There's nothing there for you. Just stay in a positive light." And I took that with me, and I still take it with me when I'm feeling sorry for myself or overwhelmed. don't go to the dark place. There's nothing there for you.
I love it. I love it. I absolutely love I love what you just said about we all know I have 8 kids.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
And, there's always something going on. As I say, I only post the good pictures. But, but you have to stay positive. That's the only thing after what we went through with COVID. It was a crazy world there, something that none of us ever experienced. And it's one thing I always say is stay positive. You have
Absolutely.
to. You got to find the glass is half full, not half empty.
Absolutely.
And just keep moving forward. It's something I say every day. Just keep moving forward. Going that way.
Right,
What happened
exactly.
yesterday, I can't fix. I'm going that way, and that's what keeps us all going.
Yeah,
You and I have discussed that many times.
Yes, we have.
You got to keep moving forward.
Yeah. I have a saying I live by. The minute I'm the smartest one in the room, I leave the room. So it sounds like you live by that as well.
Yes.
From what I hear.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. I got to tell you that I like the positive thing. It's really just
Yeah.
it's
Positive
great.
energy.
Positive energy. I know that we've heard your name around town so many times. It's great that you're working hard. You plan on doing a lot of walking, knocking.
I do. I like I said, I want to get out and meet the community, and I'll do whatever it takes to win my race, and also so that I can support the people of Huntington and do the job right. So
When I was driving here, I was on the phone, and I said that you're going to be on the show today. And someone said that you used to do the Huntington Lawyers or something.
Yes, I was very active in. I still am very active, but I've been the president of the Huntington Lawyers, and
Wow.
the Huntington Lawyers is a great. I was also president of the Suffolk County Women's Bar Association. I was president of the Suffolk County Matrimonial Bar Association. So I've done a lot of
That's great.
that kind of work as
Right.
well. And
I'm glad I asked that question because
yeah, right.
the
And-
president of this, the president of
Yeah,
that.
the president, yeah,
So you've been busy. You've been
I've
busy.
I've been doing those.
Yeah, I
things
said,
all day.
Theresa Mari's going. Oh, I know Theresa. She was ran the Huntington Bar Association. I didn't know about the other ones.
Yeah, I was the associate dean of the Academy of Law. I believe in getting involved, and once I do,
I see that.
you take it on, and if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. I'm going to do it all the way. So
That's a great message.
Yeah,
That's a great message. I like that.
I don't take it on if I can't finish it. So that's very important to me. I never want to take something on and then not do it the right way. So that's how I feel about this job. I really want to take it on and do it right.
That's great. That's great.
With you running for office, do you have 3 initiatives that stand out?
Well, probably as like we discussed before, the initiatives that stand out to me are, smart and balanced, development in the town, making sure that we are taking care of filling both sides of the need.
Sure.
Making sure it's balanced, making sure we evaluate the projects, and not every project's a bad project. The project they're looking at in Melville right now. When you look at all of the numbers, it's taking that 110 corridor, the southern part, and taking what are buildings that are empty that just invite problems,
Sure.
and turning into a thriving community is what they're looking to do there. And when you look at the project and the details, it's a great project. I know that I'm sure there are people in the community who would prefer not, but I know that our town is committed. Our town board is committed, our supervisor is committed to making sure that he tries to satisfy everybody's questions and to try and make it work without, being a burden on anyone. So I know that they're committed to that, so that's an initiative that's important. Clearly, clean water, clean beaches, and making sure that our roads are paved. It sounds so simple out,
Right,
roads
yeah.
being paved sounds like such a simple thing until you talk to Andre and you learn about the equipment and how he went and got new equipment, that used equipment refurbished.
Right. That was big.
How
You
he
did that.
went and got our own mill machines so
Sure.
that it makes it quicker. We can mill the roads and he's really working very hard on that. And the water issues, safety is
the biggest thing.
A major issue, and. I know like our second precinct has been going around to some of the vape shops and trying to crack down on those that are selling to children.
Yeah.
I also would like to get a little involved. We at our last meeting at the precinct, there was a gentleman came in talking about one of the drug treatment services down in Huntington Village. And one of my concerns always is some of these kids who get involved with drugs.
Sure,
Yeah.
And
sure.
we clearly need more education in the town of Huntington about that. I mean, they think, all right, marijuana's legal. Yes, marijuana is legal.
Right.
But, it's not legal for kids under 21 or
Correct,
anyone
and
under
people don't,
21.
a lot of people do not understand that.
Right. And they go and they, so if they buy it, and they're buying it on the streets,
Who
I've
knows what's in
had
it?
several kids and their parents all die from overdoses of marijuana laced with fentanyl.
Yeah.
And
And I agree with what you're saying about the community outreach.
yeah,
To let these children know. I have them, and I tell my kids all the time when I drive them to school, I'm like, you don't understand.
Yeah.
It's not safe. You can't
Yeah.
be in the same room. It's
No.
dangerous stuff, dangerous
yeah,
stuff.
and it's education. And
Correct.
when they're young, we
They
all
know it
thought
all.
we all thought we were invincible.
They know
And,
it all. They know it all.
And education for kids to me is so important. So important to make sure that we're protecting our whole community, including the kids.
Sure.
There's not a lot of mental health treatment for kids either, so we need to
Correct.
to help with
That is-
those issues.
You know what I like about you? I don't have to ask that many questions. You just hit all the topics. I'm thinking about questions, and she's like, you're right on. You're spot on.
Thank
spot
you.
on. Huntington, you're lucky.
I always mention my wife in an interview, and she's so happy. One thing about Huntington is that there's an Amazon distribution center there, and she was so. It might be costing me a few more dollars. I don't know. There's always a package on the
There's
porch.
always a
I'm
package.
sorry, honey, but I had to say it. Okay.
There is always a package on my porch.
So she's like,
too.
when she heard there was going to be a Amazon distribution center, she's like, boy, I hope that goes through.
Would make it a lot easier, wouldn't
Here,
it?
just right on 110, it comes right down. And I'm like, honey, stop buying.
Yeah, really. Especially since I get all those packages and then a package within a package.
We
It's
needed that. We needed those coat hangers, and we needed this stuff.
like,
I'm
oh
like,
my God.
"Geez."
Hysterical.
We need all that
hysterical.
stuff. But we're finishing up. What do you, I tell you, I think we touched upon everything. I mean, it's just,
Yeah, only thing I would want to say is, do you have anything you want to tell the viewers, Huntington, anybody else?
Just that Huntington is a great place to live and work, and I really do hope that we can all work together, and that I am successful in my run, and that we can all work together to keep it the beautiful place that it is.
I love it. I love it. Let's make a little, staying positive,
Well,
staying
staying
positive,
positive.
staying positive. I like it. I
Thank
like
you.
it.
Thank you very much.
What a great interview. I got to tell you, you did a great job. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, where can they find you before we go?
Oh, where they can find me. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, and it would be Friends of Theresa Mari, Vote Theresa Mari, and I think it's Theresa Mari for Huntington.
Great.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.